Welcome to another video about the Fence Genius system and software. Today we want to talk about why is there a web app and an iOS app, and what are the differences? Why do you use both of them, or can you just use one? The basic difference between the two is you've got to think of the iPhone app, the iOS app, as a measuring and data collection app for use in the field. So it's literally what you record your measurements in. You can use it to measure with using the LiDAR if you have LiDAR. Especially for rough estimates, it's great. And then you upload to the web app with that. And then the web app does all the hard lifting of the design work and enables you to do the customization and the estimating in the way of the dollar costs and creates the bill of materials and those kinds of things. At a high level, that is kind of the difference. The iOS app will also, in some cases, help you measure the tops of your posts to the proper elevation to cut them off so you've got the proper contour following shape. It will also help you in some cases, depending on the way you're installing your system, measure and mark your rail elevations so that you can install your fence. If you're doing a system that you've designed in the software to fit between existing posts, and you're going to do kit building, so you're basically going to stick build in the field, but you're going to pre-cut everything and pre-finish everything. It will help you to install those parts and pieces. If you're going to build a daisy chain system with a panel post type setup where you're not presetting your posts, you're just building your panels and pre-cutting your posts in advance, and then you're going to go out and work your way through the system once, one post, one panel, one post, one panel. But let's take a quick look at this job here. You can see that I've already brought my fence in. I did that by actually on the scratch pad. I went to the scratch pad and I quickly just kind of clicked my way around the site, and I didn't add gates or anything like that, but you can do those types of things. But I want to be able to do editing and designing. I want to try different fence styles, and I want to see how they reflect in the cost estimate. Now this is just a cost estimate of materials here. It doesn't have labor and the other like shipping and such, but it does tell me my footage, and my bill of materials is dynamically updated every time I change anything. And I can go to my bill of materials based on each panel. So I can drill down on this panel here, and it'll tell me everything that's in that panel. And some of the material links you may or may not have access to, so you'll have to substitute and go to a larger piece of material that would accommodate that piece. Manufacturers will oftentimes have access to drops that aren't standard in the commodity market, which the commodity market is what supports store level sales. So you can look at your bill of materials for your panels and your posts, and then you can even trellises. But trellises are buildable in our system right now, but they're not really well supported yet. You can also go to the fence system, and if you want to, say I liked this panel here, but I wanted to be able to edit it, I just go to the panel style, and maybe I go edit this. Typically I would clone it first, but this has a variety of fence boards in this pattern. So I'll go down here and I'll select the ones that, maybe I want this fence board here to be always to be 5.5 inches in the center. And then I can do a pattern here. Maybe these ones want to be, 4 inches. And then these ones here, 3.5. You can modify however you want. I've got whatever you want to do. So maybe I want to be able to change this board height, and so I can just bring it up like so, and maybe I want to put a ball tip right there. Kind of a strange look if you ask me, but you never know. People like all kinds of things. So you can do all kinds of editing here. This is where if you were doing any horizontal lattice elements, or this is where you can do your caps and add rails, and maybe you want that rail to be there instead of on the bottom. What a strange looking panel. I can't even save that one. Well, I guess I gotta save it just for the video. So we saved it, and let's look at what this thing looks like in the system. Yeah, I would sure not like it if my neighbor did that to me. But designing in the web app is the primary use for it, and keeping track of your job details. Now, what you design, can be kind of hard to build. So that's where the web app really shines, because there is the pre-manufacturing workflow. And let me jump to another job. So I'm at this other job now, and I've got this finalized, which it says right here. And that means that everything's locked down. I can't change anything anymore. It's time now to pre-manufacture. So if I go to the pre-manufacturing, I've got some videos here on how to do it. I'll be adding a lot more over time. But basically, it gives you every angle, every cut, every measurement you need to make that custom system that you just designed. And if I happen to have machinery that can use machine code, I can download the machine data by pressing this, and this will put everything down to me. But I can go ahead and start, and the pre-manufacturing workflow has a few tabs up here, and each tab has a progress bar that shows green as to how far along you are in that tab. So there's a tab for cut rails and trim. There's a tab for mark board locations. There's a tab for cut fence boards, for cut special tip shapes. If you had to do that ball top that we just designed, you could go here, and it would let you, if it saw that it had a special tip shape, it would have a little print icon, and you could print that special tip shape, and then it would print it to scale, and you could cut it out, whether it be with a router or a jigsaw or a bandsaw or whatever. And then it has pre-assembled panels, which is a system that makes it to where if you're using a Fence Genius rack, this is telling you how to set the rack. If you are using just a plywood table, which we've set up for, then the plywood table is telling you how to set how to get your way through the system as you're building on the plywood table. Beyond that, the big differences and you can prepare posts, so you can pre-cut your posts to length, and so you're not trying to cut them on site. The video is getting kind of long here, so I'm going to quit it here. But just to remember, the primary difference between the two apps is one's your data collector and measuring tool. The other is your design and production and fulfillment tool. And you do not have to have the iOS app to use Fence Genius. You can do everything within the web app. It's just not quite as convenient for capturing the elevation data. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, and happy fence building.